Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Elise. Thank you for joining me for your yoga practice today. Today you are for a very slow and gentle slow flow. It's really nice to release any stress, tension, anything that you need to let go. Lots of hips opening, a little bit of shoulder and back bends. I really hope you enjoy it. You can already subscribe to my channel and you can just hop on your mat and we'll start right away. See you on your mat. Alright, welcome to your stress relief session. So you can start by grabbing the flesh of your bum, but not the sit bones. Keep your sit bones onto the floor. See if you can flex the feet and uncross the ankles, so you know you bring your ankles parallel to one another. You can elevate the hips by sitting on a pillow or on a blanket if that makes you feel better. You can roll the shoulders back, nice opening of the chest. And you can close your eyes and take a moment to settle in. Take a moment to welcome your breath, your natural, spontaneous, and effortless breath. Notice the movements in your chest. Notice the air through the nostrils. And notice any other little movements as you breathe. And you might notice that as you focus on the breath, it starts to slow down on its own, making the inhales a little longer, the exhales a little longer, but give them the same length, the same quality. And as you do that, you can already relax your face, relax the forehead, the eyebrows and the space between the eyebrows, your third eye. Relax your eyes behind the eyelids and soften your eyelids. Relax your cheekbones, your nostrils, the corner of your mouth and the jaw. Soften the whole of the face, and maybe you can find a little smile on your face. And then let your shoulders fall. Let the arms be heavy, the hands be soft, and the fingers fully relaxed. Release your chest, your lungs, and your heart, and soften your belly. Relax your glutes. Relax your legs, your feet, and up to the toes. And notice how your body is fully supported by the floor. And notice how the body feels. And notice how you are feeling in your mind today. Welcoming any thoughts without any judgment. And we'll start our practice today with 3 cleansing breaths. You can start by exhaling all the air out. Exhale deeply. Now take a deep inhale through the nose and you can feel the air coming in the nostrils, filling up the chest, the abdomen, and in a big open mouth, exhale to release any stress, any tension, anything that doesn't serve you. And again, big breath in through the nose. Feel your chest expanding, the belly rising. And maybe you hold it for a moment at the top. And then a big open mouth, exhale, and you release what you don't need. You release what's not necessary on your yoga mat right now. And one more time, deep breath in. And a deep, pleasureful breath out. And then come back to a natural, simple and effortless breath. You can place your hands in prayer in front of your heart. And then rub the palms together. Create some heat. Imagine you want to light up a fire between the hands. And then cover your face with your hands, but without smashing the eyes. And then keep your eyes closed and move your hands on your neck. And then on your shoulders. Slide them down all the way towards the wrists. And then on the side of your torso, all the way down to the waist, alongside the legs, the knees, the calf muscles, and now grab the soles of your feet and feel the energy there. And then release, shake your hands, and open your eyes. Okay, now bring the fingertips on each side of the hips, open up the chest. You want to have a long spine, but you don't want to be too stiff. Now inhale, lift the arms above the head. Bend the elbows and grab opposite elbows. Try to keep, I'll show you from the side. Try to have your arms behind the ears if you can. I mean your biceps. Try not to be here. Really keep a long spine. Now we'll side bend. So as you inhale, you side bend to the left. You open the left shoulder and maybe you gaze at the right shoulder, sorry, maybe you gaze up. Now as you exhale, you side bend to the right. Open the left shoulder, look up. Keep your sit bones into the earth. One more time. Inhale, side bend to the left. And as you exhale, side bend to the right. And you inhale back to center. Now lift the arms, interlace the fingers, and now place the hands at the back of the skull. So where you have that on top of the neck. Keep the elbows open. We'll find some kind of a cat-cow here. So as you inhale, you arch the lower back, you lean back, and you look up. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. So you release the hands, you release the head in your hands. Your elbows are open, the chest is wide open. You shine your heart to the ceiling. And you have a gentle arch in the lower back. Good counter pose for computer work the whole day at the office or at your home office. Now take an inhale here. As you exhale, you close the elbows, you tuck the chin, you gently press onto the head, and you should feel a nice release in the spine. Keep your shoulders down, and you gaze towards your belly button. And we'll take a few breaths here. Deepen the breath. Now let's do this in a dynamic way. As you inhale, you open the chest, you open the elbows, you look up, you drop the head inside of your hands, and as you exhale, you press the chin to the chest, you round the upper back, you bring the navel to the spine, and you close the elbows. Two more like this. As you inhale, you open, it's a bit like a cow position. You look up, elbows wide open, heart is open. And as you exhale, you round. You bring the elbows together, you tuck your chin. One last time. Inhale to open. Look up. And as you exhale, you close your elbows. Inhale back to center. Lift the arms above the head. And release the hands to the side. Good. Now change the crossing of your legs. Notice the difference. Notice how one hip is more open than the other. Now bring the hands in front of you and start to walk your hands forward. Now open the fingers wide, press on the heels of the hand and really activate the arms. But here I want you to tuck the chin and gaze towards your belly button. So again, we have a really nice release of the spine. Well, now you have the option actually. You can drop the elbows on the floor, so it's a bit more restorative, or you can keep your arms extended for a more active position. So find your variation, but wherever you are, the chin stays to the chest. Shoulder slides down the back. Take a few more breaths here. Let's take 3 more. Notice maybe a stretch in your lower back. Nice release of the spine. Let's take 1 more breath. And then if the elbows were on the floor, lift the elbows, and then everyone walks the hands back towards the legs, spine lifts, head lifts. Good. And from here, let's find on our all 4 position. Now, you know your alignment, right? The wrist underneath your shoulders, the knees under the hips, and the feet, they disappear flat behind the knees. Good. Now, bring the right hand slightly more towards the middle of the mat. And now as you inhale, you lift open the left arm to the ceiling. We'll stay here for a moment, activate the fingertips, press onto the right hand and see if you can keep your hips above the knees. Gentle twists. Now inhale again. As you exhale, thread the left arm underneath the right. Bring the shoulder and the ear onto the floor. Now lift the right arm up to the ceiling as you inhale. And now wrap the right arm behind the back. And the right hand grabs the upper left thigh. Or maybe you just rest the hand on the lower back. But I really want you to open the right shoulder. And you bring all your weight onto the left shoulder and the left ear, the left temple. And enjoy the stretch. You can take deep breath here. Now lift the right arm up again, take an inhale. As you exhale, right hand on the floor. Press onto the right hand, inhale, lift and lengthen all the way open again, the same way we got in. And as you exhale, you release the left hand to the floor. And we take that to the other side. So left hand slides slightly in the middle. Now lean to the left. As you inhale, you open to the right and we'll stay here for a couple of breaths. Stack the shoulders. Make sure the hips stay on top of the knee. Activate the fingertips. And find a gentle twist here. Now inhale. Exhale, right hand underneath the left. Right shoulder, right ear onto the floor. Take a moment to settle in. Then as you inhale, you lift the left arm up. And now you wrap the left arm behind the back and maybe you can grab opposite right thigh. Or you bring the hand on the lower back, it's the same. And then you roll the left shoulder open. And you really let all your weight be onto that right shoulder to really have a nice stretch. Make sure you breathe. Let's take 2 more breaths. Then lift the left arm up, take an inhale. Exhale, left hand to the floor. Press on the left hand. Inhale, open all the way to the right. Ooh. And as you exhale, back to your tabletop. Good. Alright. From here, let's find puppy pose. It's an amazing shoulder opener. But don't worry if you can't go all the way down, or if you have a little pillow, maybe you can set a pillow in the middle of your mat. It's going to help with the chest. Now make sure your hips stay on top of the knees. And now start to walk your hands towards the front of the mat. And at the same time, you sink the chest towards the floor. Now don't worry if it doesn't touch. If it does, it's good. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. Maybe you can even bring the chin to the floor. And if you have a pillow or a cushion, you bring it underneath your chest. It's gonna help for support. Try to keep the hips on top of your knees. Keep breathing here for a few breaths. And now from here, let's go flat all the way down to the belly. So the best you can, you slide your chest, you slide the legs, and you find yourself on the belly in a supine position. No, not supine, anyway, doesn't matter. All right, now keep the arms extended. And you can keep your legs about hips distance apart. Bring the forehead to the floor to start with. Now bring the arms behind the back. Interlace the fingers on top of your bum. Squeeze your shoulder blades and lift the hands above the bum. So you don't want to have the hands that touch the back body. Now press the pubic bone onto the floor. And as you inhale, you simply lift the chest. And you gaze towards the floor. So your third eye is pointing towards the floor. Shoulder blades are squeezed together so you have a nice opening of the collarbones. Again, a really good counter pose of computer desk work during the day. The legs stay on the floor for this variation. Now inhale here. Exhale, slowly release. And turn the right cheek onto the floor. Bring the shoulders to the floor. Wiggle the hips from side to side just for a moment. Let the body integrate that. It's a slow flow, it's a stress release class, so we take our time to really feel whatever is going on without going into the mind. Alright, now we'll do the same thing but we'll combine the legs. So bring the forehead to the floor again. Interlace hands, lift the hands away from back body. Now press the pubic bone onto the floor. Inhale, lift the chest. Keep gazing towards the mat and now hover your legs off the floor. So the thighs normally shouldn't be touching the floor, and if they do, it's alright. You lift as high as you can, you lift as high as comfortable with patience and compassion for yourself. Take 2 more breaths, and when you inhale, maybe you can lift a little higher. 1 more, actually that was 3. And on the next exhale, you release, and now you turn the head to the other side. Maybe you wiggle the hips a little bit from side to side, finding a little bit of a release. Good. And then forehead to the floor. Tuck the toes, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, keep the elbows hugging the ribcage. Come onto the knees. Find your tabletop position again, and from tabletop position, let's stand on our knees. So here, shoulders above the hips, hips above the shoulders, the feet are about the hips distance apart and they are flat onto the floor. Now from here, we'll go to a low lunge. So I want you to lean onto the left side, and now extend the right leg forward, the right foot forward, whoopsie. First step, right leg, big step. Now bring the hands into the lower back and start to press the hips low and forward. Now you might want to adjust the stance of the foot. You don't want to have the knee above the ankle. Make sure you have the knee above, across the ankle, you know what I mean. Good. And now keep gently pressing the hips forward and down. Your chest is nicely open. You can find a bit of a bounce here to find a bit your edge. Imagine you want to bring the left thigh on the floor. It's only an idea, but at least you have the motion and the movement down. And now release the arms alongside the body. Now see if your fingertips, they can go and touch the floor. I mean, it's early on in the practice, but that's what we're aiming at, like to have really the fingertips hovering the floor. Keep breathing. Enjoy the stretch in the whole front of the left thigh. Now bring the right hand onto the right knee. As you inhale, lift the left arm up. Bring the fingers together. And as you exhale, maybe you can lean back. So you open the heart. The left arm is back towards the back of the room. And the shoulders is relaxed and down, and you have a nice arch of the lower back. It's a gentle back bend. Well, you can make it as deep as you need to. Take another big breath here. As you exhale, bring the left hand onto the floor, next to the right foot. Feel the prana, the energy in your fingertips. And now as you inhale, you lift the right arm up. Relax the shoulders, activate the fingertips. Now, if you want here, you can slightly move the right foot to the side, just a little bit. Now, bend the left knee, point the toes to the ceiling, and with the right hand, you grab your left toes. And the first thing we do is that we kick the left foot, the left foot into the right hand. So you should feel that also in the inner thigh. And you can gaze back, so at the same time, you have a twist. And now very gently start to draw the heel towards the glute. You can flip the grip, so you can grab the top of the foot and point the elbow towards the ceiling. Now if you want a deeper stretch, you can bring the left forearm onto the floor, and you have something slightly deeper in the front of the thigh, in the quadricep. Take 2 more breaths. Then a big inhale. As you exhale, you slowly release the foot. You lift the right arm up. Right hand now inside of the right foot. And if you were on the elbow, come back up. I should have told you that before. Good. So now both hands are inside of the right foot. Option to stay here with the knee on the floor, the wrist underneath the shoulder, that's fine. Option to come onto the elbows for lizard pose. Option to tuck the toes of the back foot and lift the knee for the full expression of the pose, but you don't have to go all the way there. Find your edge. You gaze towards the floor, so you keep a long neck. Take 2 more breaths. Feel everything there is to feel. Try to stay present. When we open the hips, we release stress. Now, everyone, if your knee was onto the floor, lift the knee. Everyone comes onto the hands. And now from here, we'll go to Yogic Squat. So a little hop with the left foot on the outside of the left hand. Now sink your hips slow and find your Yogic Squat. You can roll the mat and put the mat underneath the heels, or you can place yoga blocks or maybe a pillow under your knees. Your elbows are inside of the knee, pressing them towards the thigh, and you bring the sternum towards your thumbs, not the opposite. So you want to really elongate the spine, and you should feel that a good stretch in the lower back. I hope you do feel that. Shoulders down, chest open, and a soft gaze forward. If you want to find a bit of movement, you can find a bit of movement. Good. Now release the hands to the floor. Press onto the hands, slowly start to straighten the legs, but keep your head low. Heel to the feet until the hips distance apart, and find your ragdoll pose. I haven't forgotten the other side, don't worry. Now grab your elbows, bring the weight towards the toes, and enjoy having the head below the heart. You can sway from side to side, shifting the weight onto one foot and then onto the other foot. It's a really good pose to release stress and tension. It's amazing. And then come to stillness. Release the elbows, bend the knees a little bit more, tuck the chin, slowly unroll the spine, vertebra by vertebra, until you come to standing. Don't go too fast. And once your spine is straight, you lift the arms above the head. You take a big inhale here, and as you exhale, you bring the hands to the heart, and you can release here. Good. All right. Now we'll go back down to the floor, and we do this whole little sequence onto the left side. Bring the hands to the heart. As you inhale, you lift the arms above the head. You really stretch yourself up. As you exhale, you fall forward. Relax the head. Now bend the knees so the hands can touch the floor. Crown of the head towards the mat, and the tailbone is lifting up towards the ceiling. Now, from here, slide the right foot back. And then from here, find your first downward dog. I know it's a bit of a strange way to get into downward dog, but there is no good or wrong way. And walk into position. You can bend one knee, straighten one leg, swap it out, maybe move a little bit the hips. Make sure your hands are wide open, shoulder distance apart. And then come to stillness. Bring your knees onto the floor, untuck the toes, and come and sit on your knees. Good. And now you get to do that on the other side. So remember now from here we lean to the right so we can bring the left foot forward. Now the back foot is flat and it's right behind the knee. Bring the hands behind the lower back and press your hips forward and low. Make sure the knee doesn't go past the ankle, all right? Squeeze your shoulder blades and really find maybe a little bit of a bounce to find your edge, a little bit of movement. And when you feel settled, release the arms and let the fingertips travel to the floor. And that really encourages you to sink a little lower. You might notice a difference between this side and the other one. Take a few more breaths here. Enjoy the stretch on the psoas on the right side. Then left hand, left knee. As you inhale, lift the left arm up. And as you exhale, you can find back bend, leaning back, fingertips towards the back of the mat. Shine your heart to the ceiling or to the sky if you're practicing outside. Open the right shoulder and find a nice back bend here. Take a few more breaths. And then inhale. Exhale, slowly release the right hand to the floor, next to the left foot. And as you inhale, you lift the left arm up for a twist. Relax the shoulders. And you know, you can always smile when you do that. Doesn't have to be too serious. You can smile to yourself. Now bend the right knee, point the toes to the ceiling, and with the left hand you grab your right foot. If you have a strap or a towel, you can use that if you can't reach the foot. Should have told you that on the first side, really. And now kick the foot into the hand gently and enjoy a little bit of a deeper stretch. In the quads, in the psoas. You can find a twist by gazing back. And then you can bring the heel towards the glute, flip the grip, so you grab the top of the foot and you bend the elbows and you send it to the ceiling. Oh, this side is a lot tighter. Now if you want a deeper stretch, you can bring the elbow onto the floor and you can keep twisting. And you really bring the heel as close as you can to the glute, but respecting your edge and respecting wherever you are at the moment. Let's take 2 more full and pleasureful breaths. Now if you were on the elbow, come back onto the hand. Release the foot slightly, slowly and nicely. Lift the left arm up as you inhale. And as you exhale, left hand inside of the left foot, so you can move the left foot a little bit more to the side. Option to stay here with the wrist underneath the shoulders and the hands flat onto the floor. Option to come onto the elbows. And then option to tuck the toes of the back foot and lift the knee for the full variation or the full version of lizard pose. Your hands are flat on the floor if you're on the elbows. You don't have to do any of this. You can be on your knee and on your hand, and it's really good. 2 more breaths. Now everyone tuck the toes and lift the knee. Everyone come back onto the hands. And now Malasana Yogic Squat front of the mat. Little hop, right foot next to the right hand. Sink the hips low. Bring the hands to the heart. And press the knees away to the side. The knee just turn towards you. So again, remember you can roll the mat and bring the heel under on the mat if you need to. Now from here, let's take another twist. So slide the right shoulder down in front of the right knee. You really want to slide. And then place the right hand onto the floor. And as you inhale, lift the left arm up and find a long line of energy between the hands. So your shoulders are aligned in diagonal if you want to. So the fingertips are in one same line. And you really keep opening the right knee with the right shoulder. Feel your shoulder blades sliding down in the back. Feel a nice stretch in the hips. Again, smile. Feel all that stress and all that tension being released. Then take a big breath in. As you exhale, you move the right shoulder back and you bring the hands together again. We realign the spine, always realign the spine. And now we do that on the other side. So you slide left shoulder in front of the left knee. Extend left arm to the side and inhale, open to the right. Nice opening. And now with the left shoulder, you move the left knee to the side. Activate the fingertips, open the chest, open the right shoulder. Take one more full and pleasureful breath. Inhale, exhale, hands back to the heart. Good. Release the hands to the floor. Keep the chin, now tuck the chin, keep the head low. Press onto the feet, straighten the leg. Heel to the feet, hip distance. And one more time, find your ragdoll. So you can keep a bend in the knee, grab opposite elbows. You can just dangle here, or you can sway from side to side. You can even find a bit of a bounce. Bring the weight towards the toes. If you want to go towards straight legs, you can also try to straighten the leg, but make sure you don't shrug the shoulders into the ears. Now release the elbows, bend the knees a little bit, press onto the feet slowly and roll the spine. Vertebra by vertebra. Ooh. Until you can come to standing. And once you're here, open your eyes. If they were closed, mine were closed. Good. Really good standing position for stress release and opening the hip is tree pose. And I feel we haven't done it in a long time. So I'll show you first your variation. First variation is the foot against the ankle. Second variation, the foot on the side of the calf muscle but under the knee. And third is the whole expression with the heel in the crease of the thigh, but you don't want to be here. You want to bring the hip back into the socket, all right? We'll do that, come back down if you were up, and we'll do that at the same time. So first, anchor yourself through the right foot. Bring the center of gravity to the right and hover the left foot off the floor, first thing. Find a drishti, a focal point in front of you. Now, find your variation. If you want to go full, you lift the left knee, hands come and slide alongside the leg, and you grab your ankle. And now you bring the heel in the crease of the thigh, and you bring the hip back into its socket, and you really press the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot. All right? You want to be here. You really want to stand straight. So it should be effortless. Once you're ready, you bring your hands to your heart. The moment you stop being present is the moment you fall down, and that moment when it happens, you just come back to it. Now lift the arms above the head. Drop the shoulders. Your hands are right above the crown of your head. Keep moving the right knee to the side, the left knee to the side, so you have a nice opening. Then if you want, you can open the arms like the branches of a tree. You can visualize your leaves in the air towards the sky, and you can visualize roots coming down the sole of your feet, grounding you to the earth. Beautiful. And then bring the hands back to center, join the palms, bring the hands back to the heart, keep smiling. Release the arms, and then you release the foot. Good. And we get to do that on the other side. So same thing, shift your weight onto the left foot. Hover the right foot. Find your variation, so either on the ankle, underneath the knee, or you grab, you grab the right ankle, you bring the heel in the crease of the thigh, inside of the thigh. You open the right knee to the side, you squeeze the left glute, and you bring the hands to the heart whenever you feel like it. And you want to really ground your pinky toe and the big toe onto the floor. Whenever you have your balance in your drishti, see if you can lift the arms above the head, but keep the palms together. Drop the shoulders. Keep opening the knee to the side. And now you can open the arms like the branches of a tree. And know that you're like a tree, you are strong, you are tall, and nothing can unwaver you. You can go through the season, through the changes of life, through impermanence, and you stay strong and tall. Now bring the hands back, hands to the heart. Release the arms and slowly release the foot. And now close your eyes for a moment and just notice what's going on. Notice the energy flowing freely. Maybe you notice a bit of energy in your fingertips, in your legs, down the feet. Now take a deep breath in and exhale and open your eyes. Good. Alright, come back to the front of the mat. We'll continue with a little bit of hip opening, and just for you, Emma, we'll do a pigeon pose. So feet about hip distance apart, hands to the heart. As you inhale, you lift the arms above the head. As you exhale, you fold over your legs, crown of the head towards the floor. Bend a little bit the knees if you need to, so the hands touch the floor. Relax the head, tailbone lifts. And now bring the right foot back and the left foot back into downward dog. Good. Now as you inhale, you lift the right leg, maybe not too high, maybe just a little bit high. And as you exhale, you bring the right foot behind the left wrist, the right knee behind the right wrist. So the shin is on the floor. You slide the back leg as far back as you can and you point the toe. Now if you feel that you're sitting onto the right hip, you don't want to do that. So you can place a cushion underneath your buttocks. Flex the right foot. Let's start here with a nice and tall position. So you can come on the fingertips, roll the shoulders out, feel the shoulders and the shoulder blades down the back. Nice opening of the chest. It's actually called half pigeon pose. Now you can stay here, or you can start to move the hands forward. And you can come onto the forearms as a first step. You should feel a nice stretch in the right hip. Now you can stay onto the forearms, or you can bend the arms parallel to the short edge of the mat. And you can drop the head on top of your hands. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Make sure the jaw is relaxed, the forehead is relaxed. And you breathe through your right hip. And every time you exhale, you soften. Every time you exhale, you can feel that the hip is opening a little bit more, and that you create more space. Take 2 more full and pleasureful breaths. Then come back onto your hands. Lift up the chest the same way we got here. Tuck the toes of the back foot, lift the knee, and slowly, mindfully come back to your downward dog. And take a moment here to notice the difference between each leg. You don't have to put any words on it, you can just feel it. And now let's take pigeon on the left side. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, bring the left foot behind the right wrist. Left knee behind the left wrist. Now slide the right leg as far back as you can and point the toes. Now again, make sure you don't sink, so bring a pillow or a yoga block underneath your left glutes. Hands on the floor, chest nicely open. Feel that in the lower back as well. And really settle in. Really find a nice seat here. Now you can stay here in this position, or you can come onto the forearm, and maybe you stay onto the forearm for a few breaths. You can if you want to. And when you feel ready, you bring the forearms parallel to the short edge of the mat, and you release the forehead on top of your hands. And you release the shoulders. Really notice the shoulders. And now you breathe through your left hip. And every time you exhale, you soften. You surrender to gravity. And let it go. Let it all go. One more full and pleasureful breath. Then come back onto the hands. Lift up the chest, but here listen. Sit onto that left hip, unless you have a yoga block or something, release it. Sit onto the left hip and swing the right leg forward. Good. And you can find your butterfly legs. Now bring the soles of the feet together and make sure that your heels are aligned with your pubic bone. Bring the hands behind you, lift up the bum, and now move the pelvic area closer to your heels. Now what I want you to do here is grab your feet, your toes, and open your feet as if they were a book. So the inner arches of the feet, they stay the outside of the feet, they stay glued together, and you really open the feet like a book. It's a bit difficult, but it's also feels quite nice. And now you dig the elbows into the calf muscles. As you inhale, you bring the chest forward, and as you exhale, you move a little bit more towards the floor. And we'll do that a few times. When we inhale, we lean forward, opening the chest. And when we exhale, we want to bring the navel towards the heels. Relax your shoulders and open the chest. Inhale to lengthen forward. Exhale, move a little closer to the heels, and keep opening your feet like a book. Take 2 more breaths. And then an inhale. And as you exhale, you can release that. Ooh, it feels good, doesn't it? Good. And you can now bring your feet to the floor, open your feet wide, bring the hands back, and let's windshield wiper our legs a few times from one side to the other. All right. Good. Back to center. Now make sure that you have enough space behind you. Lengthen the arms out, tuck the chin, dig the feet into the floor, and slowly come onto the mat, unrolling your spine, vertebra by vertebra, nicely and gently. And once you get to the floor, you can take a deep stretch. So you can lengthen the legs to the floor, bring the arms back, point the toes, big inhale. And exhale to release. Good. Now bend the knees again and dig the left foot into the earth. So really plant the left foot on the floor and draw the right knee to the chest. So now let's compress a bit and release the hip flexors. So really use a bit of arm muscle here, and you even want to bring the right knee, towards your right shoulder. Maybe you can open it a little bit to the side, back to the center. All right, and now back to center. Now move the hands behind the thigh and interlace the fingers there. Flex the right foot and slowly start to straighten the right leg up toward the ceiling. You want to have the heel pressing to the sky and the toes looking towards you. Now you can keep the hands in the back of the thigh, or you can move the hands up towards the ankle, maybe towards the heel, or maybe you want to grab the big toe with your fingers. Sorry, I bugged here. So hands behind the thigh, but in that case maybe the knees bend, or maybe towards the ankle, or maybe you grab the big toe, and if you grab the big toe you can release the hands to the floor. And you really want to press the heel towards the ceiling. If you have a bend in the knee, it's all right. And you want to move now the leg towards your chest. So you should feel a good release in the back of the leg. Feels quite good. In the arm string, you can feel them even with your fingers. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, slowly release, bend the right knee, release the grip, and bring the right foot to the floor. Now dig the right foot into the floor, bring the left knee towards the chest, hold it with both hands, and see if you can bring the knee towards your armpit or towards the shoulder. Maybe open the knee to the side, back forward, but keep compressing the hip flexors. And then back to center. Flex the left foot. Slide the hands behind the thigh and slowly straighten the left leg out to the ceiling. Now option to stay here. Option to lift the arms behind and bring them behind the calf muscle, maybe the ankle. Or option to grab the big toe with your 3 fingers and you can release the right hand to the side. And now wherever you are, you can keep a soft bend in the knees, but you want to draw the left thigh towards your chest and you feel the good stretch in the arm strings. The heel is pressing to the ceiling. Take one more full cycle of breath. And then bend the knee and slowly release. Good. So your feet are still on the floor, but now you open the feet as wide as the mat and you let the knees drop within just for a few moments, and you open the arms to the side with the palm facing up to the ceiling. You can close your eyes, take a few breaths here. Now open the knees again, but keep the feet where they are. Interlace the hands and bring them at the base of the skull so your elbows are open on the floor. Now let's do the windshield wipers, but we'll stay a little bit on the floor. So we inhale here looking up. As you exhale, you bring the knees to the right and you turn the gaze to the left so you have a full spinal twist. And you can close your eyes. Deep breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And then slowly bring the knees and the head back to center. Realign your spine. Inhale, exhale, knees to the left, and you send your gaze to the right. Enjoy the stretches in the quads, the twist in the spine, the massage of the digestive organs. And then bring the knees back to center. Release the arms to the side with the palm facing down and heel to the feet until they're about hips distance apart. Good, so we'll take another twist, but this time with your feet closer to one another. So you can now either cactus your arms, so you bend the elbows and the fingertips towards the back of the mat, or you can open the arms in a T, that's your choice here. Take an inhale in the center, and as you exhale, you drop the knees to the right, and you bring your gaze to the left. Feel free to move a little bit your feet if you need to. You can close the eyes, tune into the sensations. Take one more full cycle of breath. Then move the knees and the head back to center. See if you can realign a little bit here. And then inhale, exhale, move the knees to the left and gaze to the right. Enjoy the twist in the spine. Any other sensation you experience? And then slowly move the knees back in. Bring your knees to your chest. Lift the feet towards the ceiling and find your happy baby pose. So you can either grab the inner side of the feet, so the inner arches of the feet. You can grab your big toe. Maybe you grab the ankle if you don't reach. Make sure you keep the lower back onto the floor. Don't lift the lower back. Your knees are wide open so you can press them towards the floor. You can find movement in the position if you'd like, or you can just stay here in a still happy baby pose. Take one more full cycle of breath. And then slowly you release the grip. You bring the feet to the floor and you can find Shavasana. One foot on each corner of the mat. Legs open, feet drop to the side. You can open the arms as well and bring the hands towards the ceiling. And you can let go. Allow yourself to dissolve into this moment. Allow yourself to dissolve into this gift of relaxation. And know that right this moment, there is nothing to do and nowhere to be but be here on your yoga mat, lying still on the floor, quietly, with a soft, effortless, and easy breath. And you're free to stay in Shavasana for as long as you want. You can just shut down the computer or mute me. You can start to bring little movements to your fingers and your toes. Move your head from one side to the other. Extend the arms behind the head. You can yawn, you can take a deep, deep stretch. And then move your knees to your heart. Maybe wrap your arms around the knees. And slowly roll to the side. And then from here, slowly come back up to a seated position with your legs crossed and your eyes closed. But do that with gentleness. Do that with ease, without rushing into anything. Find a gentle lift in the heart. Let the flow of the breath go back to a vertical position. Bring the hands to the heart. And you can thank yourself for making the time to be on your yoga mat, to release any stress and tension, and to really take care of your body, your mind, and your soul. And to close the practice, we'll chant our peace mantra, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You can inhale to chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Inhale and exhale. May there be peace in your thoughts, in your words, and in your hearts. Namaste. Thank you everyone, thank you for joining my practice. I really hope you enjoyed these very slow, quiet and stress relief sessions, and that now you feel all peaceful and at ease in your body and in your mind. Don't hesitate to leave me a comment, to like the video, to share it with anyone who needs a little bit of body love and mind love. I will leave and drop in the box below the details for my upcoming yoga retreats in Belgium, in France and in Spain. Take care of yourself. I send you much love and I will see you next time. Bye.